Hello. Thank you for joining us, everybody. So today is going to be a slightly different stream. What we're going to do is some teaching people how to play, and then we're going to do some deck building, and then we're going to do a couple of verses, and we'll sort of change the decks in between those versus games so that you can see what like a casual sort of chill decks are opposed to something that is built for a tournament. So that's all today is going to be. So this how to play, we're going to go over the rules like we did the first time we did this. So we'll go really slow for the first few turns, and then after that we'll kick things into second gear and really hammer things out. And then with the deck building, you'll see both Shane and myself go through the decks and talk about why we're doing things, and you'll actually hear us constructing our decks and making choices to achieve what we want the deck to do. And then so thank you for joining me, Shane.
That's all right, my pleasure.
So let's just do a how to play. We'll use our decks just for reference, and then we'll go over the differences. Unless you want to do it with the demo decks.
It's up to you. What do you think makes sense?
I'll tell you actually, we will use the demo decks so that people aren't confused by the sleeves and everything else like that. Here we go. So to play summoners, all you need is a starter kit. Comes with all of your stuff. So you need a dice, a deck, and you're good to go. Within the game, you have different types of cards. So you have magic cards, you have monster cards, and you have chakras. So a standard game of summoners is played with 3 chakras. This is also what we call our tournament rules. There is another version of the game which is called playing a full game, which is with all 7 chakras and everything like that. So we'll go through our
There's only
setup
6
here.
in this starter. I'm assuming we're playing tournament rules.
Yeah, we'll play tournament rules. So standard rules or tournament rules, you play with 3 chakras and you position them where you like on the board. These act as your life points. The objective of the game is to eliminate your opponent's chakras. You also have 2 decks. So you have a monster deck and a magic deck. These are separated and you set them up on the side of the field like so. And within the game, we can draw from either, and I'll actually put mine over here so people can see what I'm drawing. So you can draw up to 5 cards in your hand from either one of these decks. So we'll go over more of why you'd want to do that in the deck building and verses and stuff like that, but you will see us drawing from different decks, and it will change because depending on how the battlefield works determines what kind of cards you need on hand at the time. So let's go briefly over how the game is played. So 3 chakras, these are your life points. The energy dice determines what chakra is in play, and the monster cards themselves are how you damage players. So we'll go over the dice first. At the start of each player's turn, they roll the energy dice, and it has different symbols on it. These symbols line up with the card. If the weakness matches one of the symbols, the card is flipped over and is considered out of phase. It's not destroyed, but it can't defend you either. You'll pick it up more as you see us play. The monster cards themselves have got 3 different gems. We have the top gem here, which is the aggressive gem. the blue gem, which is defensive, and the green is the evasive, and the weakness is at the bottom. This gem will change depending on the players that are weak to, depending on the card's element. So, the aggressive gem attacks 2 times, but only needs to be hit once in order to be defeated. The blue gem attacks once, needs to be hit twice. And the evasive gem, the first 2 attacks will miss, the third will hit, and it too only gets to attack once. In order to defeat a monster, you simply need to have a card that has a higher number. If cards are equal to each other, they will wipe each other out, with the exception of the defense, but we'll cover that when the time comes. So let's get started. So we're just going to do a game. The first few turns will be slow, and then we'll pick things up as it goes along. So the game starts by 2 players drawing 5 cards.
Which you draw a combination from the 2 decks, right?
Correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they can be a combination of magic or monster cards. It's up to you over how you prefer to have your hands.
So I've chosen to draw 1 monster and 4 spells?
Yep, and to be different, I chose to do 3 monsters and 2 spells. So you do rock, paper, scissors typically, or some other way to determine which player goes first. In this scenario, we'll actually let you can go first this time, Shane. I usually go first in the examples, so we'll mix things up a little bit.
So yeah, to start my turn, I'll start with a summon, which will be a unicorn.
So you're allowed to summon 1 card per turn, but you can choose to burn a magic card in order to summon again from your hand if you choose to.
Yeah, which I'm going to not do, because I don't have any creatures that were in play at the start of my turn. I can't attack, so I'll skip combat and pass the turn back to you.
So now that it's my turn, the first turn, it doesn't typically matter, but normally you also roll the energy dice. You'll see this come into play more later on. So now that it's my go, I get to do my summon.
I'll roll the energy dice.
Yeah, I will. So you would roll. The orange thing, nothing is affected. This unicorn's ability would be activated, but we'll cover that more as the game advances. So I will summon my Oni. The gem that is facing your opponent is the one that's considered active. So in this scenario, the unicorn has its evasive gem active, and I have my aggressive gem active. And now that I could choose to burn a card to summon again, but I'm going to instead pass the turn back to Shane.
At the end of your turn, I'm going to choose to play Force Defensive to force this Oni into a defensive stance.
Fantastic. So now, Shane's card thing. I get a chance to counter if I have a spell, and I'm going to. So I get to counter with Force Aggression, and I will force my card back into aggression. Then Shane gets a chance to counter me again.
So I'm going to choose to cancel your Force Aggression.
And so therefore this card is no longer in play, so I go back to defensive, and that has been resolved. And all cards, including monsters, go to the bottom of their deck as the decks cycle.
Alright, so I'm going to start my turn now by drawing. I'm going to choose to draw 1 monster. Magic, I've got 4, 1 more magic, and I am at 5
Yep,
cards.
so Shane will draw up to 5, then he'll roll the energy dice.
So blue.
Neither card is affected.
Yep, sure.
And now it goes, so the typical phase is draw, roll, play, and then combat. Once you enter combat, all of your cards are locked into position.
So I'm now going to summon a second unicorn. I'm then going to choose to... I could reorient creatures, but I'm going to leave them how they are. Before combat, I'm going to attempt to dismiss your Oni.
Oh, very good. So, Shane, I do have a magic card, but I can't counter him. So I have to go, oh, okay, and this card now returns to where it was summoned, in this case, back to my hand.
Right, so now I'm going to go to combat, and I'm going to attack one of your chakras because there isn't a creature in play to block me.
Yep.
So I'm going to go and attack this purple chakra.
Fantastic. So this purple chakra is now closed, and I've taken damage as a player. Now, tip: if the unicorn was in aggressive, even though it has 2 attacks, you still only select 1 target. So you do only get to take out 1 chakra for each monster that's able to attack, regardless of how many times it can attack.
So yeah, and the objective of the game is to knock out all your opponent's chakras. So
Absolutely.
a little bit closer. Your turn, Damien.
Fantastic. So now it's my turn. So now I'm going to draw. I draw back up to 5 cards, and then I get to roll. The red chakra is active, so the cards flip over. The reason these flip over is because their weakness is the red chakra. So it got activated, and now it's my turn. So I get to play a card. And then this card cannot attack because of the turn it was summoned. Even though I could, if I could attack a chakra. These cards are not able to defend Shane, but because this card was summoned, I cannot attack. So now I have to end my turn. Pass it back to Shane.
Alright, I will draw a card. Draw a second card, back up to 5. I will roll the energy dice, so it's blue.
So all monsters come back.
They come back. Right, I'm going to choose to summon, which I'll summon an Oni. Doing here. I'm going to choose to go to combat. I'm going to attack the Kraken with this unicorn.
Yep.
But before damage, I'm going to do a force damage up to increase this 7 to an 8.
And I will counter your up with a cancel.
I will attempt to cancel your cancel with a cancel.
I will change your unicorn to defense.
I will choose to cancel your force defense.
Right, and I cannot continue any further. So the defense doesn't take place because it was cancelled. My cancel was cancelled. So that means this is an 8, which makes this an 8. And that means that both of these monsters wipe each other out. So even though his monster was in evasive stance, because it was the one attacking, its ability didn't trigger. So it only did it was the attacking monster.
So now for my second attack, I'm going to choose to attack your red chakra with my second unicorn.
And that closes. Shane can't attack with the Oni because it was summoned this turn.
I've got 1 card left in my hand, and it's your turn.
Yep. So now I draw back up to 5. I then roll. So the purple chakra is active. It affects nobody on the field. I then get to summon a creature. So I will summon an Oni. I will then play a spell, Awaken Chakra. And then Shane has a chance to counter my spell. And I will cancel.
Sure.
Yep. So that means my spell takes effect. So one of my chakras is reawakened. And because I cannot attack, I'm instead going to just end my turn.
Alright, so I will draw. Spell. 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 And a spell. Right, roll the dice. It is yellow, which doesn't affect anybody. I'm going to summon, so I'll summon an Oni. I'm then going to force your Oni into defensive.
I will reverse that.
I will cancel your reversal.
And I cannot cancel that. So now my creature is turned into defensive.
So now I will choose to go to combat. I'm going to attack your Oni with my Oni twice.
Yep, so 2 7s to my 4. Now these don't get added together. The creature attacks twice and both attacks are 7. So this creature needs to be hit twice with 4 or higher, and so that's what's happened. So this card is defeated.
Then for my second attack, my unicorn's going to attack your red chakra.
And my red chakra is closed.
It is your turn, sir.
So now I will draw back up to 5. I will roll. The purple is active. It affects nobody on the field. I will then summon Oni. And I will attempt to dismiss Shane's last summoned monster.
Which is this Oni, so it comes back to hand.
And then, because I've summoned a creature, you cannot attack on the turn in which you've summoned. So now I will have to concede my turn, and it will be Shane's.
I'll draw a couple of cards. Alright. I will summon an Oni. Oh, sorry, I should roll first.
Blue. Oni is summoned.
Summon an Oni. Then I will go to combat. I'm going to attack your Oni with my Oni.
Oh, very good. So these 2 cards wipe each other out.
Yep. Then I'm going to attempt to attack your remaining chakra with the unicorn.
I have no ability, no magic to stop it, so I will concede. Now, magic can be played at any time, as you would have seen as throughout the game. And you'll see as we sort of ramp things up more and more. If you have cards that are able to swap the elements, you can prevent attacks and damage and various other cards like that. So you will see again as we keep ramping things up more and more so we're going to sort of, that's the basics of the game. What we'll do now is we'll sort of move on to a little bit of a deck build, so that you can see how to construct a deck and what we talk about, what we think about when we construct the decks, and then we'll sort of kick in with some more harder hitting games. So everything you saw here, all the cards that were just on display, they're all found in the starter kit. So purchasing one of those will get you pretty much everything you saw on the board now. Depending, of course, if you're getting S1 or S2, because S2 is so close to launch, you may not get one of these boxes. But yeah, once they come out, you'll definitely be able to see the difference. But a starter kit will contain everything that you need. So let's get onto some deck building. Now, Shane, you had a deck you were interested in constructing.
Yeah, look, I wanted to try. So one of the decks that I've got sort of a very aggressive sort of red deck that's weak to purple, and I wanted to have a go at looking at what building something would look like based around orange.
That's a fascinating thought. Would you consider? Obviously you're going to have another color in there. What do you think's a good pairing with orange?
I hadn't gotten that far. What I was going to look at was effectively the different creatures that tend to pair well. I normally start with looking at which chakras I'm going to play, which align, see what abilities make sense. Start with one color, have a look at what colors are weak to that color, because what you don't want to do is be swapping into orange to get a bonus from either one of your chakras or one of your creatures, and then in effect having a third of your creatures in play phase out.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone would have heard us talking about it before. We were saying that. So the idea of this deck is that Shane's going to try and construct something leaning towards orange, but we don't recommend that you actually put all your eggs into one basket. Having one color and being super predictable will definitely hurt you more than it will help you. And that's why we were talking about pairings and what would sit well and all that sort of jazz. What I'm going to be doing on this side is I'm actually going to be improving a tournament deck. So when it comes to professional play with this game, so we have the casual play is very relaxed and it doesn't care about what cards are in your deck. But with tournaments and more serious gameplay, you can only have 4 of each card in your deck, and you can have a minimum of 20 and a maximum of 78. So these cards, what we're doing here is I'm trying to build a really good tournament deck, and you'll see this show up later on in the game when we both sort of talk about that. So I'm going to be trying to balance a tournament deck while Shane does this orange one, and we'll keep talking and going through our thought processes as to why we're doing what we're doing. And I'll also talk about a few of the different decks that I got some of my stuff from. So my tournament deck, I definitely prefer the chakras that are found in the Oni Special Edition because they definitely have a lot more bang for their buck. I do have two that come from the standard starter because those extra attacks can be really helpful. But in the starters, there's also the rare chance of getting a blue chakra that can give you a shield, which is also pretty handy. So I prefer the Onyx shields, but there's nothing wrong with the Onyx chakras. Sorry, but there's nothing wrong with the starter ones as well. Those extra attacks can come in very handily. So I prefer to have Onyx chakras. What about you, Shane? What do you prefer?
I think that my tournament deck, I have a lot of the chakras specifically out of the Onyx deck for a couple of reasons. So one is, well, the primary reason is around that they can be used defensively. So the blue one, for example, which I think is out of the Onyx deck, which I run, is the one that forces you to choose a creature so only your opponent can attack that one creature.
Oh yeah, that's definitely from Onyx.
The other one which I use, I think, is the purple that allows you to shield a creature. So I think having
that one's really handy to have, the shield creature.
Yeah, so they're probably my favourites as far as the ones which are available and in print now.
Yep. No, that's definitely the way to go.
So I'm at least probably doing one
I'm making a mess on my side of the board here.
because all three rules apply to each player.
I think I'm going to make a slight exception on my deck. So right now, what I'm trying to do now is, there's a thing when involved in deck building, because there's a minimum of 20 cards, you want to get, I mean, it's wise to say you want to get as close as you can to 20 so that your deck cycles faster, and then that way you have better access to what you need at the time. Wouldn't you agree? That's probably the better way to do it.
Yeah, I especially if you've got things like Onyx in it, like you want to increase your odds of getting to your Onyx by keeping the card numbers low. It also means you can sort of craft draws a bit better.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's more a stats thing, right? Trying to hit your more powerful cards more often.
So what I'm balancing here is obviously I have all my cards displayed out here. I actually probably have more cards than I need. So what we're trying to do now is we're going to try and limit it a little bit to not that these creatures are bad. There's nothing wrong with anything that's here, and it's one of the most unique things about summoners, but it's what makes deck building so exciting, is that when you're building a deck, every single card in summoners is useful. And it's so hard to determine like what cards you want in your deck. I have a lot of these because they're my favorites. And Shane and I have a similar taste, but you'll notice that like I don't have any Chimeras in my deck, whereas Shane's got a few over here. I think that's what, wouldn't you agree? Like, because every card is useful, deck building becomes a real game of strategy.
Yeah, 100%. Like, there's so many different cards you can include. They all have strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, for example, I'm going to get rid of my Craig. One, because he's my only blue card. And even though he is really good to have, and his stats are really good and everything about that, because I'm trying to get my numbers low, I'm going to have him sit out. It's a game of it's a real thinker for deck building. So when you're doing tournament, obviously there's a few things you want to focus on: deck cycling, and so that you have the cards that you need when you need them, and then you also want to focus on like usability, I suppose, would be the correct word.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you want to have you don't want to have cards that are on the field not doing their best, their 100%. So, for example, I'm making a decision now between whether or not I want to have a Kitsune in my deck or a Hippocampus in my deck. Now, both of these cards are insanely good. Both are insanely good at evasive and all of that sort of tricks. Now, here's my dilemma. The Kitsune has a little bit higher defense, but the Hippocampus has a little bit higher evasive. Both of them have got really handy chakras that allow them to do extra stuff when the element is green. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the Hippocampus, because my focus between these cards is I want it in the game for its evasive ability. A defensive 3, while helpful, is not going to do what I want this card to do. So I'm going to have my Kitsune sit out for the time being until I do a final card count, and I might add some back. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to favour my Hippocampuses. I feel like the Leviathan is just such a good card to have that it's silly not to include it along with the Kraken. Both of the Kraken and the Leviathan have got... So the Kraken's really aggressive. When its element's in play, it gets to do more damage. And when the Leviathan's element's in play, it gets to take somebody with them. So it's super important to have... I reckon... Yeah, the Leviathan and Kraken are just must-haves in the deck, I think.
Yeah, look, because of how hard they hit being 8s, I think it's good, but it also comes down to what sort of deck you're trying to build. So
well, that's true.
So I think there's evasive builds and stuff like that where a lot of the creatures are weak to red. So for example, things like Onis and Unicorns. Because one of the things I hummed and hard about here, and I'm keen to actually try to see what it works, is all of my orange creatures are actually weak to red. So when I've got a red chakra in play, these will be strong, but these will actually be phased out. So I'm hoping. So for example, if I look at putting a red chakra in this deck, it'll give me the ability to gain an extra attack back that I'd typically lose from having a creature phase out.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. I'm also thinking of including Onis. The Oni is a good card to have. Well, I have it in my deck because its stats are pretty nice. They're pretty well rounded. But if you can get it into its elements, those extra attacks are really great at cutting through evasive level monsters. So I have them in there so that they can do damage when I need them to do damage. But having that ability to swap in and hurt an evasive creature, that's just something that is just really good to have. So I'm up to there. The Unicorn, definitely another wild card. It's the same as the Kitsune. I actually think the Kitsune might be better in this scenario. So I'm going to add my Kitsunes back and sit my Unicorns out for this time being, and we'll get back to them soon. Just give this a little bit of a shuffle so that we don't have to do it later. My Misagani, this card's in here for 2 reasons. One, it's a little bit of a flex. It's definitely one of the harder cards to find in the game. It can only be gained from a booster deck, so it's very difficult to get. But its stats are really, really nice, and it's a nice out of the blue card that can cause some surprise damage. So I'm leaving him in there. The Onyx, this is the limited edition card. So every 6 months we release a new dragon. And this is the first dragon from S1, the Onyx, that has been released. So there's only ever 30 dragons in print. So having one of these if you can find a dragon, they're always good to pick up. They have really good spells. They have really good chakras. Having a dragon is just great if you can find one of the special editions. That's the caveat. So let's see where I'm up to in my monster count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm up to 21 cards. 20 is the minimum. So because I'm trying to get as small as I can choose to take out an extra card. A really good bet would probably be to remove maybe one of my Onis. Just because I have enough of them in the deck, and everything else sort of has another use to it. But it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays. So I've gone and I've focused on cards that can do a job, and I'm hoping to build my deck around being able to have useful cards on the field. Obviously, that's definitely the way to go. You don't want unuseful cards on the field. But I have no more than 4 of each card, and yeah, so let's see. We'll see how that plays later. But like I said, the objective that I'm trying to do is get as small as I can to increase my deck cycling. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be 20. This is me trying to have. I'm giving this a go to see how beneficial it is to have exactly 20 cards, because I've never tried it before. The penalty of having exactly the minimum amount is that you lose cards that could be potentially helpful. So I've cut all these out of my deck, and all of these monsters could have helped me. So I'm taking a bit of a risk, and I'm hoping for higher cycling, and that's what I'm trying to achieve here. So I'm going to do the same thing with my magic, and while I get set up, you can walk the audience through what you're thinking, Shane.
Yeah, so besides the fact I've realised that I don't actually have any of my change oranges here to put into this deck.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So we may not be able to play this one exactly. What I was looking at doing was balancing out the colours. So I've gone around 3 primary colours, so orange, red and blue. I've chosen these deliberately because I wanted to build specifically around the orange, and getting sort of extra attacks in stances I think is good for punching past evasive targets. I've balanced that with creatures which are red, which have high aggression, so that allows me to punch past creatures which are high defensively. And a couple of things I actually wanted to try. One, I really love the chimeras because they have the ability to nullify effectively your opponent's stance switches, because there are 6 in every stat. Plus, they can be used, they get an extra attack when their elements are active, being blue. And the Indrix I really like because they're high evasively, but I like the ability to be able to colour change into blue to have, if someone's invested a heap of creatures to get 3 attacks in, to effectively kill it, being able to element swap to blue and then effectively have this attack to kill one of their other creatures on defeat, I actually think is really useful. I'm keen to try that out and see how good it is.
These are going to be very interesting decks.
So the other thing I've included then is based off of that premise. I'm now putting in an awful lot of stance switches. So to effectively, be able to swap into a stance where my lower ability creatures can do maximum damage.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I'm doing a similar thing right now. So now that I've settled on, when you build a deck for summers, I highly recommend that you lock in what monsters you're going to use first, and then build your magic to work with that. I mean, you could definitely do it the other way around. But I feel like if you know what your monsters you've got, you can sort of plan how you want to best utilize these. So I'm thinking of being, if you saw some of my other streams, you definitely would have seen aggressive decks, defensive decks, and evasive decks, and hybrid decks, and things like that. In that terminology, this is definitely going to be fairly aggressive, I think. I'm going to try and do something that is really, really hard. So, cancels and other cards like that. Oh, hi! Thank you for jumping in, Raz. I appreciate it. We're doing some deck building now, but we're gonna do some big games in a minute. But definitely jump in and enjoy. Hopefully you'll be on. I'm definitely thinking of being aggressive. So an aggressive deck in this is something that's constantly applying pressure to your opponents, whereas a defensive deck is making your opponent feel like they're in control, but you actually destroy them in their turn. So they actually attack and you defeat them with your shield wall. And then I'm going to have you can't build it right now, but once S2 comes out, you can have evasive decks, which will allow you to focus on dodging and nullifying damage rather than taking it. So there's a whole bunch of hybrid, sort of a mix of both. Hybrid evolves as you play. So I'm going to be a bit more aggressive. So I'm going to start there. And I'm definitely going to have... so you want cancels. If you have 4 cancels, you have 4 cancels. And that's where you start. You don't... I think it would be really unwise to build a Magic deck without cancels.
Yeah, I think it's a core part of the game is being able to interact with your opponent and be able to counteract what's Magic they're playing. You need to interact with their Magic. I think, as you say, it's super important.
It's absolutely super important, and it's the same. So right now, I'm going to count how many cards I have for this aggressive build already, because I need to have these kind of cards here. So you've got a force aggression, and force defensive. In S2, you can get force evasive as well. These cards are how you maneuver a battlefield. They're very important to have, and I want to include both, but I don't. What I'm trying to do currently is I'm trying to have as small amount of cards as possible. So if I've got 20 cards, I want to trim that back without hurting myself. So I'm going to do a little bit of count. 2, 8, 9, 13, 14. Okay, I'm up to 15. So I'm going to include these. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I have 3 too many cards for what I'm trying to do here. Now, like I said, this may not be a great idea, because even though I'm going for high cycling by being as slow as I can, I am losing maneuverability. So I don't want to hurt myself too much. I feel like taking 3 out is going to hurt me more than it will help me. So I'm going to leave it at that. So by the end of my deck build, my Magic card is... my Magic deck's at 23, and my monster deck is at 20. So that's going to be very interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, no, we know.
So what are you thinking about doing with your Magic, Shane?
What I've started doing now is I've gone back to, this is my current build of my tournament deck, so I'm just having a look at the balance of Magic which is in this, where I actually really think colour switches are very important to use both aggressively and defensively.
Yeah,
so I actually run 6. I like to run 1 Awakened Chakra. I think it feels like the right amount, so I normally include 1. There's a school of thought where if you're playing super aggressively, you may reduce that number. I always include 4 cancels because it's my favourite Magic card.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm running 4 dismisses. because they have the ability to
send the cards back.
send the cards back, especially if your opponent's burn a magic to summon, being able to effectively nullify 2 cards for 1.
Absolutely. That's a really good thing to say. It's also important, like when we talk about burn summon, you got to remember that when people do burn summoning, they are technically using magic. So all of your cancels, reversals, dismissals, everything works on a burn summon creature. You can cancel a burn summon if you want to. Yeah, and that's an important thing because a lot of people treat it like a summoning. It's a magic summoning. You're basically turning a normal magic card into a summon card, as long as you have something in your hand. That's the only catch-22 is that you have to have a card in your hand to summon.
The other thing I've done with this build specifically is I've tried to distribute this over more colours so that colour changes my opponent uses knock out less of my creatures.
Oh yeah, very, very handy.
So I've split this across 3 colour types. As far as weaknesses are concerned, being purple, red, yellow, and violet. And then I've tried to align to those chakras. And as I mentioned in my tournament deck, I actually used two chakras that have evasive abilities, and then a red chakra to align to give me extra attacks with things like krakens.
Yeah, no, that's really handy. That's really good to do. When you're doing deck building with this, it's like you don't have to just follow our instructions here. There are so many different ways to build a deck. I think Shane and I have both torn our decks down and rebuilt them like 1,000 times.
Lots of times.
Yeah,
lots and lots and lots of times.
You have so many options, and that's, to be honest, it sounds like I'm struggling here, but it's really good to have that amount of options, being able to play how you want to play.
If every deck was the same, the game would be very boring.
Absolutely.
And the depth of play and the different ways you go about constructing are gives the game its depth and its vibrancy. So
yeah, absolutely. And I feel that don't, just because you don't have the cards that we have, and just because you're not, like, you see me making a super aggressive deck. There's no magic potion. There's no win button for summoners. You play the decks that you want to play. So if you want to be defensive, you absolutely can make a really good defensive deck. And if you want to make an evasive deck, hybrid, it's all up to you. You can make any deck in this game and it will be perfectly viable. You're only limited to what you have on hand and your own imagination, like how you approach things. There is so many different ways, so don't feel like this is the only way, because you're going to see a lot of... Shane and I both have years of experience with card games, so you're going to see a lot of big back-force, complicated magic circles and all sorts of stuff when we do our verse match. But we're not the standard. We're just 2 random players. Like, it's everybody's game that can do that. So yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, when you come against an opponent that has an overwhelming deck, so if somebody's put a lot of thought into their deck, it may seem that, like, oh my god, they're unstoppable, like, you just cannot defeat them. But that's any deck. Even the starter decks that you saw us playing before, you can change those to compete with anybody, including somebody who's put a lot of thought into their decks. So there's always
every strategy has a counter strategy.
Absolutely, So don't think that just because you're not doing things the way that we're doing them, or because you don't have as many cards as we have, that it means anything, because you can always buy cards, you can always get more, and you can always do a lot with what you have. I think that's a good message. You can do a lot with what you have.
I'm surprised the lines of play you get just literally with buying. Because when I started, I just bought 2 starters because I wanted duplicates of a lot of the cards.
Yeah.
So because I wanted to have 4 of each of the cards which are in the starter at the minimum. And starting there and basically, even though they were identical,
Yeah.
the depth of play and the different things you could construct with that alone was just absolutely
I think that's
fantastic.
what makes the starter kit probably the best value for money, because you get the 2 starters, the dice and everything comes with that. But because you get those 2 starters, if you're playing with somebody, you can learn. It gives you 2 players. But if you're doing it yourself, you can slap those 2 together, and you've got a really good out of the box deck.
And the new starters will be tournament legal out of the box too. Right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, the S2 starters have got a lot more cards than the S1s do, because of developing in Australia, which is really crazy. So we're going to finish up and get everything set up for our verses, and we'll be right back. All right, here we are back. So I just got all my stuff set up, and I'm just getting the board ready for play. I want to have my cards in view so people can see what I'm doing. Because I want people to be able to learn from... Ah, yes! Hello, thank you for joining, Miki. Thank you for commenting. So what you're going to see here is it's going to be a tournament level game. So we're playing with 3 cards and we're playing with actually built decks. So this is going to get pretty violent in card world. So we're just going to finish getting everything set up and make sure that we've got it. Because once we go, this is going to be a big clash. So we'll be right back. Just hang with us 2 more ticks and everything will come live in a moment. Alright, so this is going to be very interesting, our little testy test decks.
Pencil Chockers, this is your tournament deck, right?
This is going... So this is a tournament legal deck that I'm interested in trying.
Right.
Yeah, so the idea with this is that I'm trying to play with the fastest rotation I can.
Okay.
That's sort of what I'm giving this, what I'm trying out today.
So this deck is my tournament deck, which is super, super, super aggressive.
Oh, nice! So you've got a hardcore aggressive deck.
Yeah, this is designed to not make friends.
Yeah, this is very good, very good. Well, I promised our audience a really brutal, punchy game. So that's what we're going to be.
Oh, they're going to get it with this thing.
Well, hopefully I can return the favour.
Well, let's see.
All right, so I'm not going to go over many of the rules in this. You'll hear us talking, and I might drop rules now and again, but this portion of our video is not our how to play. This is more, once you've learned the game, built decks, this is a tournament style throwdown. So we will talk about certain rules and certain things, and you hear us explaining what we're doing, but yeah, you're not going to get This isn't going to be a walkthrough.
If something's immediately unclear for the people which are on the chat, if they want to ask
Absolutely,
a question,
yeah.
ask away.
Because we are just playing for the giggles. Like, this isn't a we just like to punch each other. That's what this is. We just like blood. That's just
All
right.
Let's do this.
Ready?
Yeah.
Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, I will go first.
Go for it.
Alright, so we should have drawn our hands beforehand, but we're going to do it anyway. Alright, so I roll. It is purple. That's perfectly fine. I am going to summon the Kitsune in a evasive. And I will end my turn.
Dismiss.
I will reverse that.
Sure.
So I just make you dismiss nothing.
Dismiss.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. I will summon.
Ah. Different monster though. What'd you get second time around? Python. Alright, cool. My turn.
Yep.
Draw up to 5. Roll.
He's yellow.
I will summon a Kraken in aggressive.
Very good.
It is your turn, sir.
At the end of yours, I dismiss.
Yep, that happens. Back to hands.
It is now my turn.
It is.
So I will draw back up to 5. I know I'm gonna be doing that now because of I was doing a tutorial 6 seconds ago. So I draw, I roll. I panicked that I thought that was my Leviathan's weakness. So my Kitsune will come back.
Yeah.
And I will take your purple chakra with my Leviathan. Oh.
Let's see if we can phase him out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Gets there?
Yeah, I'll let you do it. So, it's good practice that if somebody changes an element, it's good practice to just get used to changing the dice. Well, that's it. My Kitsune can attack, so it's summoned.
Yep. So end of yours, I'm going to force your Kitsune into defensive.
Oh. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
Okay. Then I'm going to change blue.
At the end of mine. Yep, cool.
So now I'll start my turn. I'm going to draw. Draw again.
So remember, the objective here is to take out the opponent's eyes, the chakras. So when Shane phased me out before, I wasn't able to do it. So that's what
your
happened
turn,
there.
sir.
My turn.
Yes.
Lovely. Okay, and we will roll. We'll roll again.
Purple.
Purple, that's fine. I will summon a Oni. I will force your Kraken into defensive.
I will force it into aggressive.
Okay, I will force it into defensive again.
Sure.
I will then eat it with the Leviathan.
The Leviathan's coming out, I'm going to force it into defensive.
I will force it into aggression.
He's got all the answers. Yep, that happens.
Leviathan eats the Kraken. Kitsune take the purple. So both Shane and I run the purple that if it's that element you get to shield a monster. It is brutal. So that's why I took it out first. I almost can guarantee it's going to be the first one he takes out when he hits me.
Yep.
You can't let your opponent have that.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
My turn.
Your turn.
Awaken purple.
Oh, very good. Look at you. Look at this.
Got to protect your purple chakra.
You do.
Like an 8x6
Three.
tandem trailer, swapping it for my tandem. So it's got a like cage with a roof, locks, trailer brakes, 2 spare tires.
Leviathan?
Yep.
Not
So I
waterproof,
should have
but
rolled.
I mean, that's not
That's
super
fine.
hard.
Red.
Red.
Only's out.
That doesn't really change anything.
Marine quiet.
It is your turn, sir.
My turn. All right.
But like you can't really travel. Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Because the
All right, and we roll. Yellow is active, so I lose my kitsune. That's unfortunate.
So I bought this card.
I will play the hippocampus.
Yeah.
And then, now, I gotta get around that Leviathan.
You can try.
I can try. I feel like you've got an answer to this, but we're gonna try. Defensive the Leviathan?
Defensive the Leviathan.
Yes.
Aggressive the Leviathan.
Yeah, I had a feeling you had a no, I'm gonna cancel it.
Gonna cancel it?
Yeah, you're gonna match me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, there. Oh, that was worth it. It was worth a poke. Instead, what I'm gonna do is summon.
And some, sure.
Oh.
No, no, not Onyx. Please no. Damn. No, God no.
Fantastic.
Rot roll.
I will end my turn, sir. Oh, actually, no, I won't. I will. Oh no, yeah, I will. I won't trade. I was going to trade the Leviathan, but I'll decide against. I'll keep my monster advantage where it is.
You
sure? Actually, no. Yeah. Let's trade the Leviathan.
Sure, I'm not baiting you into something.
Huh?
Yeah, you gonna try?
You choose which side comes out.
There's 2 cards here that could be gas.
Sufficient plan.
Could be guys. No, I won't trade. I will. If you bluffed, you get to live. I won't fall for the trick, and I will show you mercy.
Okay,
Either way.
sure.
Either
Alright.
way.
Draw.
This is where he pulls out a wipe all cards from field.
It's not wipe all cards from field.
Oh, you get to
Oh.
choose.
Hello.
Choose carefully.
What are we gonna eat? What's in my hand? Hey. That is a kitsune.
I have a question around a card. The card that
Don't
allows what a single creature
think
to
it
block
matters
any number of
too
creatures.
much.
How do things like double strike, first strike work in that scenario? Does it get double strike against every creature it blocks? Or do I have to allocate, let's say it's a 1-1, so it's 1 damage twice and then
God, this is really tough. I need to kill something.
Was he baiting? Oh well, we'll find out. We'll find out. That's what we.
I've always got game.
Part of summoners is doing that, like either trying to get the opponent, like bluffing, like in poker.
I'm going to choose yellow here.
You're gonna choose yellow, so he's out, and he's out. They're both out.
Yeah, that should have been a stealth summon, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, let's summon a Kraken.
Okay.
Let's go and have a fight. Let's try and eat an Oni.
Yep. Leviathan eats the. Yep. Fair enough.
I think is fine. So just like this. How many magic you got in hand?
1.
Let's dismiss the Onyx.
Oh. I assume you have a cancel.
Nope.
Alright, but you are free to.
I had to go for it. You'll go.
Alright. So I draw. It was bait? It was bluff?
No, it wasn't.
No, okay.
It wasn't. I had game.
You had game. Alright. So it is orange.
So everything's back in play. This
Everything's
is bad.
back in play.
It's
will.
not purple, so that's okay.
yeah. I will summon the Leviathan.
Yeah, when I was saying the other day, like these guys are
And-
really playing against because no one's ultimate. Like,
We'll try something. Try something here. Dismiss.
Yep, works.
Yep. Okay. It's orange. So I'm going to go into. I'm going to go into combat.
Yep.
I am going to force your Leviathan into defensive. I will eat your Leviathan with my Leviathan.
Change, please.
Oh, okay. Why? Oh, your shield. Oh, your shield. Very good. I have to end my turn, but I'm going to end it with a summon.
You're going to end it on a summon. Okay, and it's blue. That's not the shield, only this can be attacked.
Yeah. Oh, only that can be attacked.
Yeah.
Oh, so then it dies.
It does.
Yeah. And oh yeah, but now I can't take a chakra. Yes.
That's assuming how that's. I'm assuming that's how that works.
It is. It is. It's intended for that purpose. So go.
Any of your turn, I'm going to change red twice because I need to cycle to something else
Yep,
that's going to
fair
get me
enough.
out of this mess.
It's a nice puddle.
Let's draw. Let's draw.
Yeah. No. It wasn't. It wasn't his. He didn't poker face me. He had to switch to blue because he knew that he could stop himself from dying. So it wasn't a bluff because if I had destroyed his Leviathan like we did the trade, he would have stopped me from destroying his Leviathan. So that would have been so it wasn't a poker face. It did come to fruition.
I think we're in trouble.
It is an interesting little pickle.
Kitsune into evasive.
Okay.
Then dismiss.
So Leviathan returns to my deck.
He's way out of this.
I'm doing this just for the players. What do you think? It's really good habit. I haven't done it, but it's good practice. Because dismiss is a card, you should spawn your monsters in order.
Yeah.
I have tried to do that, so those two were my last summon. These two got summoned at the same time, but I'm pretty sure the Leviathan was before the Kitsune. But either way, it was sneaky, but that's what you do. It was good, yeah. It was a nice play.
I need to summon another creature here.
Gonna burn summon?
I am. I'm just debating what's the right card to burn summon because I kind of really want both the magic cards.
Kind of need them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
One card in.
One card.
Reversal's not terrible. Cancel one sucks.
It's either 2 or 4.
I gotta go for it because I'm dead either way. Burn summon?
Reversal.
It does have the reversal.
Rightio. So, what happened then? Even though I can't summon a card, I acted as if I could, but it just cancels it. It was just acting as a cancel.
You'll go.
I go? Alright, so...
I took a gamble there and the gamble did not work.
Yeah. Although you do escape death.
No, we'll see. I don't think I have it.
Oh no, I think you do. Oh, actually no, you don't. Dismiss.
Yep, that works.
It was blue,
Yeah.
and I knew that you had your chakra still.
No.
But we'll play it to fruition so everybody can see. So I dismiss your Kitsune,
Sure, it's back in my head.
and then I attack you with everything and take 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 chakras.
Well played, sir.
No worries. What do you think of the cycling deck?
It's okay.
I mean, I probably just had a really nice start.
You had a good start. I
strong.
ended up with all of my colour swaps.
Yeah. That happened to me last week.
Yeah.
When we were playing. Sometimes it just happens. And
What time is it? We got time for one more. We got time for one more. Let's go again.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. Okay. Let's go again. That was pretty good.
I also think there was a turn there when I should have burned summon and I didn't to try and keep up with the.
With my monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, I was thinking about when I was going to trade the Leviathans, I was like, it's a bit early for me to be risky the trade.
What the bait was there,
Yeah.
the poker face moment, was I had to switch red.
Oh.
So if I switch red, you
take, and then
I take that, I then use that to take the Oni.
Yeah, okay.
And I get a 2-for-1.
Oh, nice.
Because then, if it was red, you would have been able to, when they annihilate each other, attack one of mine. Because I only had one creature.
Yeah, I didn't have anything.
The attack back's nullified.
Yeah, that's really good. That would have been. Yeah, that was sneaky. Oh, well done. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Yeah, that was a sneaky sneak. Oh, hello, we've got quite the audience today.
We do.
Yeah, hello everybody on Twitch. So there's Raz and Miki on Twitch. Lovely, nice to see you both. And then we have you on Twitch as well, I believe.
That's the TV.
Good Games is on Twitch. And we have YouTube, and we have Facebook, which I believe is Karen. Hello, Karen. If not, hello Facebook. Yes, we got a sneaky face in the chat from the red.
100%.
All right, so we'll do this properly this time, and we'll actually draw hands first, rather than waiting.
This was going to come out, but it didn't.
All right.
You got rid of mine.
1, 2, 3. Damn it! Oh, you never.
I never win. No,
you never win.
It's not a thing. Never ever.
Okay, I will obviously go first, because that's what I do. I'm doing an insanely aggressive deck, so purple.
Or violet.
We're violet. I will summon the Kraken into aggressive stance, and I will end my turn.
Not during. Actually, end of yours. I'm going to awaken Chakra.
Okay. That Chakra is very awake.
Just because I don't think that does anything for me right now. So what have you got? 4 magic in
4 magic in my hand.
No. Burning that awaken was 100% the right thing to do. So let's roll.
Oh, choose.
I get to choose. Let us... I'm going to choose purple.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to play an Oni. That's my free summon.
Yep.
And then...
Yeah.
I think it's your turn.
At the end of yours, I'm going to summon.
You're going to summon?
Yep.
Yeah. What am I doing?
Are you going to do something about it?
There's 2 things I can do, and I'm debating what's the right thing.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't advance until you do.
I'll pretend I didn't know what this is. I think we cancel it. I'm going to cancel that. So in response, with this still on the stack,
Yep.
I'm going to choose to dismiss in response.
Ah, okay. Fair enough. Alright, so that'll dismiss.
That gets cancelled. You get your summon, which is the hippocampus.
Yep. Fair enough. Yeah, sometimes we need to slow our roll. Well, in that case, I am going to roll
Violet.
again.
Right,
So,
yeah.
surprise, the Kraken is back.
He's back.
And then I am going to I think I'm just gonna standard and just kill the Oni.
Yeah? So this is attacking him.
Yes.
Aggression.
Ah. Defensive.
You had a defensive.
Your Oni.
Right, so this is now an aggression, that's in defensive.
Yep.
Sure, purple.
Okay.
Shield.
Oh, very good. Alright, fair enough. Alright. I will end then, that's all I can do. To explain what happened then, he switched to purple and shielded this monster so that it couldn't take the damage because the hippocampus was going to win. So just so you know, that's what the switching and stuff was about.
Replay Leviathan.
Yep.
Switch stance the Oni to aggressive.
Cool, cool.
Should probably do this.
Yep.
Yellow. Ooh. Oh, interesting. That's exactly what I needed it to not be.
Yeah, I was worried for my hippocampus's life.
How many cards you got? You've got 3 cards. So how invested am I in killing that hippocampus?
It's a bit like that. A bit like that.
I reckon I'm gonna pass here. There's no need.
Okay.
There's no need to be aggressive. Your turn.
At the end of yours, I'm going to summon.
I'm gonna summon. Damn you and your summons.
Okay.
Actually, sorry. I just realised I got a card in my hand. So that's a summon, right?
That's a summon.
So I can reverse that.
Oh! Absolutely true.
You got to cancel?
I do not.
Yes. So what I get? An Onyx.
Very good, very good.
Into defensive. Let's go.
Nice, nice. Well done. Alright, so it's the start of mine.
I never expect summons because I don't have any.
Yeah. They're a wild card. Blue.
Alright, this is the only monster that can be attacked because it's blue.
Okay, cool. I'm going to send it back.
You're going to send it back? Ooh.
Wow, I know what your card's going to be. At least there's one trader about it.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so he was my last summoned, and it's blue, so he comes back.
Yeah.
The card you selected is actually gone,
Yeah, that's fair.
so I will attack, but he will go back. So again, just for people watching at home, you can change these as much as you want. The second you attack, that's when everything on this side of the board is, everything in your field is locked into its orientation. So make sure you change everything before you just jump in and start stabbing things. Well, I'm gonna go balls to the wall here. I'm going to eat your Oni. Oh no, sorry, not with that. I'm gonna eat your Oni with that.
Eat my Oni with that.
The hippocampus to Oni, 8 to 7.
Sure, aggression.
I had a feeling about reversal.
I'm gonna reverse the aggression.
Yep, and I'm gonna make your Leviathan extra aggressive.
Let's go. Sure.
Alright, so hippocampus eats Oni.
Yep.
Kraken trade with Leviathan.
Yeah, this is fine.
So, the reason I did that for people at home, because I know that his next card's an Onyx, and I want that to be my only problem.
Alright. Done?
Done.
End of yours, I'm going to change to blue twice.
Okay. It's very blue.
Monster. Magic. Magic. You got 2 magic here.
I do.
I think we just draw extra magic because then we just protect the big boy.
Yeah.
Stealth summon.
Shit, what could it be?
That couldn't have been any more comical.
It's a Gorillas, isn't it?
Oh dear. Now, what do you got? 2 cards?
2 cards.
Alright.
That's the best stealth summon I've ever seen.
Dismiss.
Dismiss? Fine.
Bye Kraken. Go?
Alright.
Oh, what?
Well, in that case, summon the Kraken.
Sure.
And then I will take your damn purple chakra.
So, how about before that happens, we make it red?
Let's not.
Okay. How about we then make it purple?
Fine.
be using your prismatic ridge again?
Alright, well, if it's purple,
Using prismatic ridge again.
that's okay with me.
Yeah.
Yep. Fair enough. Your turn.
Defensive.
Oh, cruelty.
Alright. Draw.
Yes.
Draw. 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 Alright. Roll. Leviathan is my free summon.
Okay.
Dismiss.
Ooh.
Correct on everyone?
Damn.
Round she goes.
Okay.
Go.
Yeah, fantastic. Oh. Do this every time. Block my. Oh god, and the hippocampus is out. Alright, well, I'm gonna summon.
Sure.
I'm gonna dismiss.
Cancel.
Yeah.
Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Fair enough.
I tried that a few times over lockdown, like, it never really gets
I will
Yeah.
put your Leviathan into defensive.
You know what fantastic like tabletop games and card games?
Sure.
VR. Because you're not worrying about
oh yeah, I can't.
you're going to like flip cards.
Forgot that I can't attack with the Kraken because he's just got resummoned again.
You can take that back if you want. We're not playing for Sheep Station.
Yeah, I know. No, that's right. I'll accept my blunder. That's fine.
Okay.
That was an honest mistake.
Oh, that would be sure.
I will end my turn.
End of yours. This can be
I did a
defensive.
lot of VR.
Okay.
But also for work. Like people going,
Draw.
one of the best things was
Draw.
someone like is
Draw.
standing in front of the server with their
Draw.
phone, and it's
Ooh.
VR goggles it's on their screen.
What are you gonna
You can see the
choose?
screen and you go, oh, pull this camera out and like, you know, plug it into this port and you're
I'm going to choose yellow.
like the thing and then it
Okay.
I think because that's what this is weak to, being a hippocampus.
Correct.
in
Cool.
real time.
Yellow good.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
like we were going to implement it as a full-time thing, but
Let's
the
play an Oni in aggressive.
or using a VR.
Let's play
2 hours in a work week.
change orientation.
Oh, everything's going aggressive.
Yeah, we're going in for the kill.
This is looking nasty.
Well, if you don't have something to counter my dismiss, you're in trouble.
Oh, I do not. Damn.
Maximum 4 hours a day.
I'm in deep doo doo. Okay.
I will take a chakra,
Which one?
the purple. Then I will take the red.
Oh, that hurt.
Then it is your turn.
Next time, just punch me in the face. Just reach across the table and just hit me. Alright, well, we're gonna have to get super ham here. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, it's fine. I will make it this and just make the Onyx disappear.
Okay.
I will then...
I'm surprised you didn't choose orange and get an extra attack.
Huh? Because it's not gonna do me much good at the moment because I've only got the 8.
Yeah, but you could take an Oni.
I can take it only anyway.
Maybe?
Maybe. You don't know that. I'm gonna burn something.
You're gonna burn some. I'm gonna cancel.
I'll reverse that.
Cancel?
Fine. Oh, nice. You're keeping me locked.
No, my hand is loaded.
Yeah, alright, fair enough then.
We'll
Well, I will, eat the Oni.
Eat the Oni.
Yep.
The Oni eating occurs.
Okay, cool.
Hippocampus takes Oni.
Yep, horse stab samurai.
Yeah.
He fish slapped him with his tail.
Alright.
Okay.
Anything else?
That's all I can do. End turn, do your worst.
End of yours change red.
Okay. This is gonna hurt. That dragon's gonna go away.
Draw. Draw.
This is
Draw. Draw. Ooh.
oh god. I don't like it when you make sounds.
Draw. Come on. Not violet.
Oh. Okay.
Alright. So Kitsune into Evasive.
Yep.
I think I've got you.
You might.
Dismiss.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
That's the card that made me make the noise.
Oh. Okay.
Alright. What have you got? Any magic in it?
I do.
Cool. Let's start by forcing this into aggressive.
Oh. Okay. I can't do much about that.
Alright. Go to combat.
Yep.
Leviathan takes Hippocampus.
Yeah. Fair enough. I can't stop it.
Yeah. Only takes Chakra.
Done. Oh, well done,
played,
sir. Well done.
Well,
So
thanks,
I was
Dave.
sitting on I had a 2 ups at the same time. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had the other cancelled. It was
Nice.
pretty
No, that was
gas.
good. Yeah, you had a fantastic run that time.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I just, when I needed to get ahead, because I was starting to get behind,
Yeah, I was-
literally the tempos of getting each hand, getting a dismiss, and having the counter magic or the reversal.
Yeah.
But the swinging point in the game, I think, was when I reversed the summon.
Yeah. Oh, no, I actually think it was when you locked my hand, because I still could have got out of it. That's why if I was able to burn summon and
Yeah.
get that back out and that thing, I was just going to continue to build on it really fast. But I just didn't have because you had the dismissals, you were able to keep my hand at 4 cards.
Yeah, I love dismissals. They're one of my favourite magic.
Oh,
cards.
they're so good. That's all for tonight, though, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed our games. It's always a pleasure to have you with me.
Thank you. I love playing summoners, and it's always great to play against you too.
Yes, I like to think that we're nice. We're evenly matched.
We are very equal. Well, we're one apiece, right?
We're one apiece.
We need to decide it next week.
Yeah, well, there you go, guys. Well, I'll tell you what, if you tune in next week, I'll put it in the description when we are going to do our versus match, and you can see who breaks the tie. And I'll put it in. We'll actually plan it. All right. Thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hopefully, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them over to our Facebook or in the comments of any of the videos and things like that, and we'll get to them as soon as we can. If you weren't here at the start of the stream is how to play. In the middle, we did some deck building and you actually saw us make the decks that we played with today, and we sort of go over that, and then the last few is our games. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys when we see you. Bye.
What?